everybody, welcome again to Gypsy's Kitchen. I'm Gypsy, if you haven't joined me before. And today I'm making some banana bread because I have some very ripe bananas here. So make sure you preheat your oven to 325 degrees, which I have already done. And you will want 3 really ripe bananas. And I just happen to have 3. That's my compost bucket, by the way, because, well, I compost. I happen to have 3 very cushy, ripe bananas. I mean, they are super soft. So you'll want to take your 3 very ripe bananas and, of course, peel them and mash them all together. Oh, that one's so soft it's like falling apart in my hand. Actually, I want to leave that open because I'll be needing eggs soon. So, what you're going to need is 3 ripe bananas, a 1/4 cup of melted butter, which I have. You will need 1 egg. You will need a 1.5 cups of flour and a cup of sugar. What you'll want to do, like I said, is preheat your oven to 325. Let it get warmed up. I've already done mine because I have an old oven. It takes a while to warm up. And then you'll want to grease your 9x5 bread pan, which I have also already done because I wanted to make things go fairly quickly. And you'll mash up your bananas as well as you can. I'm just using a fork, just trying to, oh, sorry, kitty. There's a kitty under my feet. Just trying to mash them up really good. You know, I think that's pretty good. Looks like baby food. After you mash your bananas, you'll want to add a cup of sugar. I'm using just standard white sugar. That's what the recipe that I have calls for. This is kind of a variation on a recipe that my mom used to make, and that's 1 cup. So I don't even know where the recipe came from. I do apologize. And I'm going to mix the sugar in with the bananas a little bit just because it'll make it easier when I add the other ingredients. The bananas kind of break down the sugar and make it a little more liquidy. So that really looks like baby food. And it also helps to soften the bananas even more. You can see that's what it looks like. See how runny it is? And then 1 egg. And I'm glad it's only 1 egg because, yeah, I try not to use a lot of eggs. I have blood pressure problems, so I'll try to watch my cholesterol. And you just want to mix that in. And then, because we're going to be doing a 1.5 cups of flour, you want to add it in probably, I would say, a 1/2 cup at a time. And now I am going to switch to a really big spoon, one of my wood-burned spoons, my happy spoons. And this scoop is a cup, and we need a 1.5 cups. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of this, about half of it. Like I said, about 1/2 cup at a time. Now I am using all-purpose flour, so I am not going to be using any leavening agents like baking soda or baking powder or anything like that. And I tend to like my banana bread a little more cake-like. More like a pound cake rather than a true bread. So there's 1/2 cup in. And And now we're gonna do another 1/2 cup. It just makes it easier to mix. There's another 1/2 cup. Remember, we're doing 1.5 cups of flour. And I, you know, scrape the bowl, mix it around. And it will start to thicken up as we add stuff. And we still have 1/2 cup of flour left to go. But before I add that in, what I'm going to do is add my butter. You've got your 1/4 cup of melted butter. I'm going to go ahead and add that in. And then add the last 1/2 cup of our flour. Sorry, I'm a clean as you go kind of cook, so. And you're probably surprised that I'm not doing something with butternut squash this time. Because usually I do a lot of recipes with butternut squash. But like I said, I had these bananas and they were getting ready to go bad. They were really soft, and so I thought, okay, I will put them in there. And I'm just going to add a pinch of sea salt. Just a pinch. I guess that's about 1/8 teaspoon. Like I said, I don't use baking soda or baking powder because I do tend to like mine more cake-like. Alrighty. And there you go. Now you're going to pour your batter into your bread pan or your cake pan, whichever you want to use. This is probably the easiest recipe. It's not necessarily the quickest because we're going to let this cook now at 325 for an hour. And after an hour, I will bring you back and show you what it looks like. The way to test it is to stick a toothpick or a fork in the top of it, and you can see whether or not it's done. But it's usually about an hour. It usually takes about an hour to go. So, make sure that's all even. Got a little bit on my hand there. And this is what it looks like before it goes into the oven. And like I said, you want to put it in the oven, top rack in the middle, and you want to let it stay in there for 1 hour. And I am setting my timer now. And I'll see you guys back in an hour when it's ready to come out of the oven. Alrighty. Looks like the bread is done. Well, banana cake-ish bread. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a fork and check the middle. Make sure it comes out clean. Clean fork. It's done. And this is my light banana bread. I hope you guys make the recipe and enjoy it. It's awesome, hot like this with a little bit of butter. Talk to you next time. Bye.